You there, do you want to be an edgy boy with a giant motherfucking sword to swing at enemies and bash their faces in all day long? Well, have I got that fucking class for you? Dark Knight. I've just realised I'm going to get this video demonetized in the first 7 seconds. Oh dear, who cares? Because this class is awesome. This is Dark Knight, the baddest freaking class as a tank you will ever goddamn play in your life. So, we're going to do a little bit of a guide on it. A not so super guide. Please don't take these words to heart, because I am a below average Dark Knight, and this, what I tell you, will probably be absolutely goddamn wrong, but who cares? Anyway, what is Dark Knight? So Dark Knight's one of your 4 tanks. You've got 4 tanks. You've got Paladin, you've got Warrior, you've got Gunbreaker, you've got Dark Knight. Dark Knight is seen as the hardest tank to play. So why is that? Why is it so hard? Well, basically, there's so many goddamn buttons I don't know what to do. Oh my god, there's so many, help me, God, please. Anyway. So, Dark Knight is probably the most offensive tank in terms of maximum damage output with its opener. I believe its opener is like stonks, like big damage. It's got absolutely goddamn everything that you need in a Dark Knight. Plus it's edgy as hell. And you've got a giant motherfucking sword. See? I mean, look at that sword. It suits Ali so perfectly. It's goddamn perfect. It makes her look evil. I mean, come on, look at the aesthetic, people. It's awesome. So, this is going to be a guide. I'm going to show you how to play Dark Knight to at least a semi-decent degree. And so make it so that you don't look like a complete utter moron in dungeons. Because this class is goddamn hard. I would know. I main this. Well, I say I main this, but I also main Paladin and Gunbreaker and Warrior and just about every other goddamn class in this game. I kid you not, I have everything at 90, please help me. So, let's break this class down, shall we? So, with Dark Knight, you have your classic 1-2-3 combo. This is my striking dummy. He is going to take an absolute shit ton beating here because we need to show off this class. So you've got your classic 1-2-3. Look at that damage. And with Soul Eater, you get health back. Easy as that, right? Well, it's not. This class ramps up in difficulty a lot. Because when you go for it, you start with your blood weapon, you've got to go 1-2-3, and then you do your edginess, and then your that, and then this, that, next thing, and then delirium, then, oh my god, there's so many buttons. Like, this is so much happening. This is so much happening. And then you've got your Living Shadow, and then this, that, next thing. Shadowbringer, then edgy again, and then this, and that. And as you can see, it is a very, very simple class to play, my friends. It is so goddamn easy. It's not easy. The opener for Dark Knight is probably the busiest of the 4 tanks. Maybe up there with Gunbreaker as well. I think it's between Dark Knight and Gunbreaker for busiest opener. If you want a nice, easy opener, Paladin, baby, I love you. You're awesome. You're a lovely class. And yeah, Paladin is my second baby. It's also like my child. But this, we're talking about Dark Knight. Because Dark Knight's edgy as all hell. It is fun. So, we've talked about the mess that is the attacks. Let's talk about defensive capabilities. Now, Dark Knight does not have as many defensive capabilities, but what it does have is Blackest Night. So, what is Blackest Night? It is a barrier, if we hover over here, it is a barrier that you can put around yourself, or if you're off tank, and why would you off tank as a Dark Knight? Like, off tanking as a Dark Knight is just, I mean, put it this way, I went to a raid as a Dark Knight, I got Phantom Train, there was a Warrior in the group with me, and I said nothing. They had zoned in, they had turned on the tanks instantaneously, one look at me as a Dark Knight, looked at how badass I was, and they basically went and turned off Defiance. This class is intimidating as all hell, people. You want to scare people into turning off their goddamn tank stances? Go Dark Knight. So anyway, when you use Blackest Night, you can take 25% damage and of your HP, and when that happens, you basically get a no fuck you attack, which is basically your Edge of Shadow or your Flood of Shadow. So when you have a tank buster coming your way, use this goddamn ability and don't be like me and forget to use it half the time because I'm an idiot and don't know how to play this class, and then take like 30,000 damage to the face. Thank you, Hephaestus. Love it. You're a good guy. You're awesome. Like, I completely forget to use this half the time, or the game will decide to lag and I will take a hyperdrive to the face. Thanks, Kefka. So, what else have we got? So we've got your typical Shadow Wall, you've got your Reprisal, all of that good stuff. Now, with Dark Knight, there are 2 specific abilities that people look at and go, when the feck do I use that? We have Carven Spit and Abyssal Drain. So, Carven Spit is better used in a sort of raid situation where, or a boss, where it's literally just you and one other enemy. So, Carven Spit you would throw into like your sort of in between like your Delirium, like Blood Spillers. So, if you use Delirium, so if I was to use it here, like, you would weave it in during like your Blood Spiller and try and kind of weave it in like that. And as you can see, like, this class also gives you a lot of opportunity to weave abilities. This is why I say this opener is probably the busiest of the four. Like, there is a lot. Now, personally, I've struggled to get everything in the 15-second Delirium time frame, because with Delirium, you get 3 uses, but it's a very, very short time frame. Like, you've got to fit in 3 Blood Spillers from your Delirium in 15 seconds. That's rough. Like, I guarantee you, if Delirium went to 20 seconds, it'd be a bit of a piss take. This class would then become even more broken. So, all in all, it's very good offensively if you can memorise, like, and I mean, you need to have a goddamn photographic memory to memorise this Dark Knight opener. I've been playing Dark Knight for months, I still don't get it. Like, my brain still melts. So, what else do we have in Dark Knight's toolkit? We have a spell called Blood Weapon. So what does Blood Weapon do? So you get 5 stacks, and when you use it, it actually helps. Why am I jumping? It actually increases your gauge here. So every attack you land increases that gauge, so that then you can get into your Living Shadow quicker. So what is Living Shadow? You have someone living inside of you. This is the Steam. He lives inside of you. And the Steam is pretty much almost like a second member of yourself. The Steam will come out for about 20 seconds. It's a 3-second kind of spawn, and then he spends 20 seconds wailing on enemies. It's pretty goddamn powerful. It's probably one of the beefiest kind of burst attacks you have as a Dark Knight. So, what else do we have? We have Blood Spiller, which is your gauge, and this is where Blood Weapon, your Delirium. So with Delirium, you get Blood Spiller and you get Quietus. Quietus is your AoE. So it's pretty beefy. The other spell I was going to talk about, so we had Carven Spit, which is your kind of use it against a single target to recover MP. The other spell we have is called Abyssal Drain. So Abyssal Drain is based in a big pool situation. So if you're a badass like me and you do big pools, by the way, if you don't do big pools, don't worry about it. Like, you're still appreciated as a tank, because big pools are stressful, and honestly, it's goddamn scary. I didn't do big pools until Shadowbringers, and that was well after it had released as a tank. So it's scary. Big pools are scary, but don't worry, we're here. I love you. You're the best. Like, do the best you can, baby. You're awesome. So Abyssal Drain is best as almost like a oh shit button. So if you're doing a big pool and then things are going south, which with Dark Knight it most likely will, because Dark Knight is a stressful class to heal, according to a lot of healers, and true, it's actually true. Because if you don't play Dark Knight well, this is a class that you really need to be on the ball with. If you are not playing as, like, if you're not flowing it as well, then this class can be absolute hell to play. But Abyssal Drain is used in a big pool, like, so if you've got like 8 enemies around you, you do Abyssal Drain, there's your 200 cure potency. You've got like 8 enemies, there's like 1600 cure. That's going to get your health back a good bit. Not quite warrior level self to sustain, but pretty close to it, because with this you only get it for 60 seconds. My argument is you should either get 2 casts of it or reduce the cast time to 30 seconds or 45. Because I think Abyssal Drain is very, very useful, and to use it once per pool is a bit sucky. Like, because you have to be really, really careful about using it, because if you kind of use it too early, you're screwed. Use it too late, it's not going to do as much healing. So it's one of those abilities that you have to be very, very fickle about using. So, we've talked about that. So what is the class invul? So every class has an invul. Paladin has Hallowed Ground, Warrior has Homegang, Gunbreaker has super ballers where you shoot yourself in the face, which I don't get. It's like, right, I'm going to go invulnerable. Blow your brains out and you have 1 HP. Dark Knights is Living Dead. Now, months ago, Living Dead was awful. Living Dead only worked if, once it was used, you died. You died, in inverted commas. But, in order for you to come back, you needed to have all your HP healed. Now, if you play a Scholar or Sage, that's goddamn impossible, because they don't have the direct healing. The only class that generally would work is White Mage, but if they've used the Benediction and you've popped Living Dead, then yeah, you're fucked. You are well and truly fucked. So, they changed Living Dead. So Living Dead now works as, if your HP is reduced to 0 while under the effect of Living Dead, instead of becoming KO, you are given Walking Dead. And this is where it's very useful in big pools, because when you have Walking Dead, every attack you land per enemy will give you a 1500 cure potency. So basically, you press 1 AoE and you're back at full health. This ability has went from being super shit to super broken. So, we'll demonstrate this. I've got a dungeon planned for Alamigo. It's level 70. And I'm going to try and show off Living Dead if I can. If not, it's no biggie. I might try it in Shadowbringers where it might be a bit easier. But yeah, this Living Dead is super broken now. I actually used this in a Cetus run. And yeah, it's beefy. So, let's do an Alamigo run. And I'll try and demonstrate how to play this class without looking like a fucking moron. I can tell YouTube's going to demonetize this video already because of the amount of swearing, but it's edgy and I have to be edgy for the video to fit the context, to fit the theme of the video. I have to be super goddamn edgy. And plus, this channel isn't monetized. Yet. So, we're going to do it Alamigo, and I'm going to show you. And at least in this, we're going to see our edgy boyfriend Xenos. Love you, Xenos. I miss you every day, man. Like, I miss him. So here we go. So, when it comes to your big pools, as a Dark Knight, the #1 thing is make sure you're always using your Blackest Night. Like, use Blackest Night, it helps keep the damage off you a good bit. I think that's it. Oh, you've got more. So, right, wait for all the enemies to appear. So, use your Blackest Night. Once your Blackest Night is used, it's going to do the big damage and everything. Like, it'll take all the damage, it'll take all the hits, and then once it's used, then you pop a Shadow Wall or Oblation. Now, my advice is, if it's Shadow Wall you're using, just use Shadow Wall. If you're using Reprisal at arm's length, throw Oblation in as well, because then it just gives you that little bit of security with kind of defense. I've also realised there is one ability that I have not talked about, well, two. Dark Mind and Dark Missionary. So Dark Mind, Dark Missionary are basically magic defensive. So I believe Dark Knight's the only tank to have like magic defensive abilities. So Dark Missionary is very good if you're, for example, in Felcourt, either in Felcourt or Lapis, and you have a big hit coming in like the kind of Skarmory Leonie's kind of big AoE, like once you do the Chieftain Decay phase. It's good for kind of helping with that. So as you can see, with this, you want to keep your AoEs going, and then if you get a chance, throw in your Delirium and try and weave in your Flood of Shadow and things like that. And then you've got your Shadowbringer. Shadowbringer is very good in big pools as well, because Shadowbringer is a 600 damage, 600 potency, and it's very good against a single target, but also very good against kind of mobs, just to kind of help tidy them up a bit. So, here we go, we've got our first boss here, so like Living Dead, and then that, then Flood. Then we can throw everything at it that we've got. See, this thing's gonna go down like a piece of piss. Why? Because the edginess rules all. Right, so this thing's going to follow me, so we've got to try and kind of run a lot. There we go, this thing's nearly down already because we are badass. The edginess wins the day. That's the secret, troops. The more edgy and depressed you are, the better damage you deal. One of the things I also forgot to mention is this bit here. So this is your gauge. This is like your... I forget the name of it. I'm going to read the tooltip. That's why you read your tooltips. So, when you use Edge of Shadow or Flood of Shadow, you get Dark Side. Now, Dark Side is basically your depression gauge. Dark Side's depression. The more depression you have, the longer depression you have, the more damage you deal. The more damage you deal, the quicker the enemies go down. The quicker the enemies go down, the less scared you'll be. And this is a prime example. This bit here is a prime example of how a good Dark Side and Blackest Night can literally save your ass from an absolute goddamn beating. See, we are pulling everything. Because Dark Knight rules all. Look at this, we're pulling absolutely everything. I'm going to have about 20 enemies on me. So this is where Abyssal Drain will be super key. So let's bring in all the enemies. So here we go, we have all the enemies here. Now watch as I press a bit. So, got your Blackest Night. So you can see, no damage is happening. Watch what happens when I press Abyssal Drain. See that? That was a lot of healing. That didn't even get all of them. So anyway, let's go kill these people, these things, shall we? So again, use your Delirium, weave in your Quietist, edge in, like, yeah, Flood of Shadow, try and kind of weave things in. Like, as I said, like, this is a really busy class. Like, it is probably the busiest of the 4 tanks, because there are so many goddamn buttons to press for this class, it's insane. So, once you've kind of got this done, there we go. So, my advice for anyone trying to play Dark Knight is take it in stages. It is busy. There's a lot to learn. Okay? As I said at the start, this is probably the toughest class to learn, because there is just a lot. Like, it took me a solid while to actually get to grips with this class. Like, I think this was the last time I leveled to 90, because it's frightening. Like, I do not blame people if they don't touch Dark Knight, because it's frightening. There is so much happening that you almost do feel a little overwhelmed.
Success.
Right, so now I've got to do this bit, which is annoying. It's okay, I should be alright. I can take the hits here. If anything, it just yeets me forward. And done. Right, see you later, dude. You're dead. So, all in all, it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of practice. There's so much to learn, but it's one of those classes that if you can get to grips and learn, it actually does feel like a great class to play. Maybe right now, the kind of tension is on Warrior. Now, Warrior, now, I've got all my tanks to 90, and I do like Warrior, but for me personally, I do like classes with a little bit of spice, a little bit of a kind of challenge, because I find Warrior, while it is insanely good, just not as spicy to play. Like, cause I've done a Dawn Meg run this morning, and genuinely, I think I out-healed the healer. Like, like, I'm trying not to shit in Warrior, because it is still very good, and it's also very, very good in cases like Ultimates. It's great as an main tank, great as an off tank. But there's just something about Dark Knight that is just, I love it. Like, the aesthetic is nice. Like, it just looks so goddamn good. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do our Flood, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and then Delirium, then weave in everything. Then we're going to do our Abyssal Drain so we can get some health back. And also as well with Abyssal Drain, you get MP. Unfortunately, it's not MP per enemy hit. But Abyssal Drain is used more for big pools. See, this is where Dark Knight is actually quite good. It's quite well equipped for big pools if you can do them right. Alright, so I've just got these two enemies, so let's use my Living Shadow and Shadowbringers just to kind of get the stonks in with the damage. Then kind of do this, and then, right, one more here. I do realise, I think I did have world record for this, and I think I'm about to beat my own record with tanks. Because I think I've done this in like 10 minutes, and right now I'm barely 8 minutes in. Alright, and here we have our edgy boyfriend, Xenos. Miss you every day, man. Love you. Gone, but never forgotten. Most of it is we have your avatar. Anyway, let's beat the shit out of Xenos. Lovingly. We'll lovingly beat the shit out of him. Because we miss him every day. But you can see here, like, I'm trying to weave in as much as I can. Like, if I've got Blood Spiller kind of going, I try and at least weave in, you know, an Edge, a Shadow, or a Shadowbringer. Just trying to kind of at least get everything going. Because the more you can weave in, the bigger your damage. Oh, and I'm paralyzed. There we go. Oh, why are you running away from me? Xenos, I love you. I just want to give you a hug. But can I? Do I have hug on? Here. Can I? I was going to give him a hug, but I don't think I've got a hug on my hotbar. Do I have a hug on my hotbar? Yeah, I'm getting distracted here. Here. I'm going to fawn over you. There we go. See, I was fawning over him. See, I sent for him. I sent for Xenos. Because I love him. He's the best boy. We miss him every day. And I think we're just about to come up to the next phase. Show me your room. Yeah. See, if I didn't funny about it, I probably would have had this done by now. But hey ho, like, this is not a serious guide here. Oh, I'm bleeding. And I have damage down. Oh dear. Xenos' love hurts a lot. But also means it's going to be an absolute pain in the neck to get these gone now. Although damage down's off. Then this one. So just keep reinforcing that point, just keep weaving everything in. Make sure you have at least your MP at 3000, that way you can use your Blackest Night. There we go, he's gonna do this. Go Blackest Night. And then he's gonna do his loop thing, there we go. He's done absolutely 0 damage. He's gonna get a blood weapon in, just try and kinda get a lot of extra damage going. Delirium, Carbon Spit. There we go. And he's dead. Sorry, boyfriend. But yeah. So as you can see, Dark Knight is an absolute goddamn mess to play. I am going to have so many people in YouTube comments going, "Dude, you're playing it wrong. You're supposed to do this, this, and this, and you're supposed to do a trapeze routine, and you're supposed to do this, and you're supposed to spill the blood of the innocent." Yeah, people get very finicky in comments when you don't play a class particularly perfect. 14 community. Well, I will say this. The larger 14 community is awesome. Like, there's just a couple of assholes in it that we need to kind of take out. So, that is a sense on how to play Dark Knight. It's a fucking mess. There are so many buttons. Like, put it this way, this is the only class that I've actually had to make 2 hotbars for because there are so many. I have a single target hotbar, which is this one. This is all my single target stuff, and this is my AoE hotbar. No other class has this. There are so many goddamn buttons, and I don't even have everything on. I don't even have Dark Mind on. There are just so many buttons with this class, it is so busy, but if you can get to grips with a class like this, and put it this way, if you can play Dark Knight well, you can play any tank well. Because I feel as if by playing Dark Knight and kind of forcing myself to learn, like, it's one of those classes that will force you to use your brain. If you can learn it and get to grips with it and play it to a decent degree, every other tank becomes a piss take. Like, I will say that because Paladin I've been playing a lot since 6.3 drop. and I feel as if my Paladin is just absolute top drawer now. Like, I don't have any parses on it because I haven't been in any groups that have had logs going, but I guarantee you Paladin is probably like my top tier tank now because it's not as busy. Like, Paladin is 1, 2, 3, and then your triple atonement, and then when it's your burst phase, you do your Recroscat, you do your Expansion, you press your you do Fight or Flight, Expansion, Fight or Flight, Circle of Scorn into your Golden Blade, and then do your Recroscat combo, and it's a lot simpler. It is very simple to play, but if you're looking for a bit of spice, Dark Knight has it. Like, Dark Knight is super spicy. It's a lot more challenging, but a lot more rewarding. And if you can get a class like this down, you can play anything, honestly. I got a cheese collection. Hey, I wonder if I can send that to Shea Gorath from my Skyrim series. This will probably be worth like 300 gil, I reckon, because it usually is. And a King Urchin, which will be worth like 2. Right, I'm just gonna sell stuff quick. Let's see how much this is actually worth. Okay, well, someone decided to kill the market for it. Is there a plunker? Ooh, what'd you get? Oh, I have a big seller here. I got this from P3. Aye, yeah, P3, because I got Phoenix last night from a normal raid. We're like, oh, I could put this up. I could sell this for like $1 million. Selling that for $1 million. I can make $1 million go here. So, I think what I'll do, like, I've actually ended up rattling through. So, while I want to fill in for time, let's do another house tour because I have updated my house again for about the 40th time. So, you might remember I kind of had like my training dummy kind of over the side there. I decided to kind of spruce it up a bit, kind of add some trees. So I've got like a little deck here for kind of chill times. Got my garden here. I've also kind of moved the fire, and this tree was an absolute bastard. Oh, I need to show you something cool. Watch this. Okay, so see how I've got the tree there? You can see like I've got all the kind of the petals are on the ground. Watch what happens when I walk under it. It's gone. That tree's magic. So yeah, I quite like that. And then apparently gazebo. So, like, you might think, why have I got so much seating areas? Well, this is for rain cover. This is for cold nights by the fire, and this is for like summer when it's like it's nice outside, or like springtime, you can have a cup of tea. See, I take care of any potential visitors to this house. Let's go inside, because I have updated the inside quite a bit, and I've done the impossible. Okay, when this loads in, I will show you. Game, hurry up and load in. Here we go. I have lofts! This was a bastard to put in, but I got lofts. And you can walk about them. I mean, look at this. Like, nice little seating area. And then the lounge has also got lofts. So yeah, if you're wondering how to kind of get stuff put in on your lofts, it's tabletop items. But even then, it's a pain, because if you go into the housing menu, do indoor functions, and then you do this, you just walk forward and you fall. Oh, hey, I got a Xenos card. Cool. Let's claim that. So there we go, Dark Knight Guide and how to get the Xenos card. Do al amigo. Back to that, not get a weapon as well. Now that I think about it. Nope, I just got the card. So, at least we came out with something. So, that, my friends, is the dipshit guide to Dark Knight. Please don't take these words to heart, because I'm an above average Dark Knight. I have been raiding with this in normals and done fairly well. As I said earlier on, I actually intimidated someone. Now, I didn't even say a word in this raid, but I literally zoned into the raid, Warrior Thunder on the tank stance, took one look at me and went, nah, fuck that. Turned the tank stance off because they were frightened by me. So So it just shows what Dark Knight can bring to the table, and that is a metric fuck ton of intimidation. So this is just a little kind of mess around video just to kind of see how this goes. If you guys do like this and you want to see another not so super guide to a class, throw in your suggestions down in the comments, and then if there's one that a lot of people want to see, I'll do it. Because I will say, like, memes aside, I am pretty well versed in all the classes in this game. I've got quite a good kind of skill level in all of them, I feel. Like, okay, might not be like top tier like Savage Raiding good, but I've got enough of an idea on all the classes now that I could be dropped into a dungeon and play it semi-decent. I could be dropped into a normal raid and play it well. So if there's any classes in particular that you would like to see kind of played, or at least kind of a little guide on how to at least play it so that you don't look like an absolute moron, then let me know in the comments, and yeah, see how this goes. So that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. So your next video is going to be Skyrim, and we're going to continue on with the Dark Brotherhood quest line, and then we'll see if we can get that done. I'm hoping to get that finished by the end of the month, because Skyrim might be going in hiatus, like just for a little bit, just because things have been going on with YouTube. So yeah, if you want to see any other classes, let me know. And other than that, my friends, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Catch you later, my friends.